5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls, children of all ages, me, Duke CT, with George Carby right here, over there, wherever.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is George Carby. I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Duke, and we have a very packed show today. So without further ado, let's get this started. All right. The first news that we have for the day is about Guilty Gear's final DLC, which is actually Testament. It was a long staple character, and it's coming back for the final season. Then they're going to release season 2, and they also introduce crossplay between PS4, PS5, and Steam users. So look out for it. If you've already played Guilty Gear Strive, it's been like one of the most successful Guilty Gear games so far. Definitely give this game a try.
Yeah, I will probably get this eventually when it hits when I finally get a PS5, because I do like a good fighting game, and with Guilty Gear, they have always been mostly consistent and such. So it looks like this fighting game series looks like it's going to continue to grow and all this stuff in the season pass thing. I do worry that it might just stop, like just gonna be like how Nintendo does like Mario Kart. Yeah, like instead of actually building a new Mario Kart game, just we'll just do another season of DLC or whatever. That's my one thing is that I just want to worry about hopefully it's not going to get to that point. Just like we'll just keep releasing the same old game or whatever.
Well, fighting games in general has like this unique thing in the modern era, whereas back in the day when fighting games used to come out, it just used to be one game after the next, like Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter 2. Those were basically DLC packs if you think of it as it in a concept. But because we have the internet now, this is how it's like the newest starting. It's more fighting games are turning into a live service more than a complete game. So like they tried this with Street Fighter 5, but it's
that that didn't go well,
unfortunately.
Next up, one of my honestly the games I really like to talk about and play, Ori, just really good games, but unfortunately the developer is just a reportedly just a very toxic environment, and it's just with all this other stuff happening behind the scenes, crunch, verbal abuse, poor organization from this developer behind Ori and the Blind Forest. It's surprising, but not really surprising, because you look at the big companies, they have this problem. So I wouldn't be surprised when you hear, from indie and smaller developers that the same issues there, because unfortunately it's like it's an industry type of standard, is that they don't really, they press and press and press to get the game out, or, these type of things, and they never really, take care of the people who work in such, It's a shame thing. It's shameful, very shameful.
Well, in my opinion, that like most games nowadays are made like blockbusters. Like they're quarterly, they're made for quarterly releases. Like they're pushed out, and again, because of the internet, anything that's broken can be patched in later. It's like just release it. As long as it's a minimal viable product, just release it. It doesn't matter if it's like the game can't even turn on. Literally, technically, in fact, on Xbox, in order to have a ready to start, you can literally just be in the menu and that's it. Like the game doesn't even have to, you don't technically have to be playable, as long as and a lot of games have actually gotten away with this. For example, Star Wars Battlefront 2, when it says ready to install, even though it's technically playable, they'll just let you kill bots or something like that. You're not experienced the whole game, because again, they're offloading the whole thing. So it's like, I'm just from a day where games used to just turn on and play, and that's it. So.
Oh yeah, and that's it seems like back in those days they probably had maybe there was probably crunch and such, but there was probably maybe a little bit less, and didn't have to be overly work and overly, the people who make behind the scenes and such. Because if it's just, you look at some of these the games and everything else, you see like, for example, Anthem. You look at Mass Effect Andromeda. You look at all these those are big games where it reflects on the work. It reflects on the work of how it's like sloppy design, sloppy gameplay, just a piss poor story. These things, and yeah.
Sad to say, but some of our best games were actually made with crunch in development. Also, like Red Dead Redemption 2, Witcher 3, even the new Elden Ring is reporting like From Software has some horrible work ethics and work conditions. So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah, and it's a shame, and I hope that this because again there are some games and some studios that don't have that, and I wish they could take their lead and saying, hey, they might take longer, it might be a little like won't have much of the bells and whistles that you might expect, but at least if the people behind them are not like overly stressed, overly worked, and all that type of stuff. So. And then I think I would take that as a trade-off. I want the people behind the scenes. Okay, they worked hard, but they didn't get overworked and overly, made fun of or harassed and all these other things.
So in short, developers, treat your workers right. All right, next on the list is Street Fighter V. March 29th, the definitive update will come. This will basically be the last update to Street Fighter V before Street Fighter 6 come out. This is basically the swan song. So what they offered is a bunch of balance changes. I guess some people are getting some buffs, some people are getting nerfs, some people are getting stronger, some people are getting weaker. And then they also added more track colors because there's a tracksuit that only came in 2 colors, and now it came in 11. And now they offered 2 more modes, which is a filter mode. Like basically you can have cell shaded mode and pixel mode in Street Fighter V, offline only.
Huh.
But yeah, this is the swan song for Street Fighter V. Basically, after this, they're basically done with the game. They're putting all their resources to Street Fighter 6.
Well, I mean, get all the stuff that was Street Fighter V and all the failed launch and everything else. I can honestly, looking back at it, I honestly say that Street Fighter V, the main hurdle was pretty much Capcom in the way they delivered the full game. It was just a way that people I don't even know people actually talk about Street Fighter V anymore. It's I always believe in this expression. There's no such, you can't have a second first impression. And with games like Street Fighter V, when it just came out so bare bones and it cost $50, there's no story, there was no, they had nothing but a promise that will come back later. And it did, but I mean, people were just so pissed off at it. They were angry, and now, since it's a complete edition, it justifies something like what I do when I play games. I'm like, you know what? What's the point of actually buying a game the day of? Right? What's the point of buying something the day of, especially if I find a game? I'll just sit back and wait till like a year or two when the full roster is there.
So with Street Fighter 6, the Street Fighter 5, my apologies. It's a very funny story altogether. I might actually write an article about this. But Street Fighter 5, the whole production and stuff like that, it's like Street Fighter 4 was one of the greatest Street Fighters that came out. It literally brought the fighting game scene back into prominence and popularity. So they were coming off of a really high, and then people had so much expectations for Street Fighter 5, and they just dropped the ball. And like you said, Capcom did a lot of stuff that kind of soured people's mind. I've talked to a lot of people that they don't play Street Fighter 5 at all. They either play Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 2, or Street Fighter 4. They don't play Street Fighter 5. And not to say this is a very bad game, but in comparison to what it had before, it's for those, and a lot of people play this game because Capcom officially supports this game. So say for example, you're playing this game for money, you got to play this game. A lot of pros that like Punk or Smug or Takedo or Daigo or any of those Street Fighter pro players, like they have to play this game because it's like their requirement or their income. But they don't have fun with it, like, and they're not having as much fun as it's like Street Fighter 4. But hopefully, Street Fighter 6, Capcom learns lessons.
Here lies another failed attempt from EA. As EA Play live event won't be happening again this year, and honestly, I honestly won't miss it because I honestly don't really care for anything EA has or might have, because they poison the well with everything they touch. Every game series you liked, every game series that you really thought was going to be great under them, they poison. They poison Star Wars, they poison football, mostly all the sports games. They screwed up basketball so much that 2K basically just ran away from it. Like, since I think the last NBA Live game was like a couple of years ago, and then it was only download only, and since then they just stopped with that. The whole Mass Effect stuff, which is it was so badly received they had to put the series on hold, aka it's pretty much been canceled. Anthem, that debacle. EA is like where they'll say, oh, but we're having Dead Space return, after they pretty much killed the series with the third one, making it pretty much a Call of Duty clone. But there it is. I'm like, EA, honestly, the further away it gets away from things, the better. They just are the most poisonous game company, in my personal opinion.
Well, the thing about EA is that EA is the definition of a corporation. Like, you can't, they're not even pretending to be something that they're not. Like, I give them almost faintly praise because they're not pretending to be your friend. They're they want your money. Like, they're not donating to charities, and if they're donating to charities, it's very cynical. They want their money, and that's it. And EA is just there's even their flagship titles like Madden or FIFA hasn't been consistently good. Like, if you can't even produce the things that you're producing every year, you're just not you just don't care, and nobody's gonna care for you. So you're just the villain in the whole sense of things. So it's if EA burns tomorrow, I think more people will be happy that it's gone than sad. At least Activision is being bought by Microsoft, so maybe there might be some organizational change, where Activision's not an independent studio, so they have to follow under the guidelines of Microsoft because Microsoft owns them now. But EA is just a soulless corporation, in the pure sense, in the pure form. So like you said, dude, it's not sad that they're not doing anything.
Oh yes, and shout out that that WE the video game division, that W2K series might not be going to EA, which is supposedly rumored if 2K22 didn't do well, but it's doing well. So I am so happy that, because honestly, under EA, everything would have been microtransaction. Even by doing the menus, just getting an entrance, it would actually cost you $5 to do an entrance, and $20 for music or whatever. So be thankful for that. So that's another thing EA will not get its hands on.
Right. So I guess this is Gran Turismo 7. Yeah, people Sony kind of did a little Uzi on this one. So they waited until after all the reviews came out, and then they put their microtransactions in, which is kind
of course they did, because that's what they're taking their lessons from Hollywood. I'm sorry, my computer was a little loaded up. I had to get this thing in. I'm sorry, but that's what this is. This is pretty much what they do. This is their copying from Hollywood. Okay, we'll release the movie on Friday or whatever, and get the critics a midnight screening. By the time they give their reviews out, it's too late. We got we got your money, and that's what it is. And
Well, I
yeah.
feel that like Sony has been doing a lot of like corporation type things, like with their non first party. Like, don't get me wrong, their first party games, A1, nice job. But I feel like they want to be an EA sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they do want to be like, they want to have that EA money and stuff like that, which is pretty sad, but hey.
Yeah, it is. And shame because Gran Turismo is one of the most celebrated simulator racers out there in gaming. Never played it, wasn't my thing, but man, I know people who love that series, who know all the stuff, the tinkering and everything else. And again, with the remote play, just getting what they want, you can just sit there and just say, okay, let me just click at this thing and just do it without grinding, so I can finally get the stuff they want, instead of having make it as fun as possible. It's just become a chore or another job. It's a shame how these game series continue. They go these companies make it like so much as a grind. Either they for these the customers of their games and everything, to a point that they're going to say, screw it, fine, I'll pay $40, $50, $60, $70, $80 for for a microtransaction. That's what this stuff is going to lead to.
Well, I mean, shoot, they literally just increased the price to what's it called? They literally just increased the price from $60 a game to $70 a game. So
that's why I wait to do stuff on sale. That's the best way. Or if it's some of the times I like a series I know I can trust, then I can actually say, okay, I can buy the series,
Of course. Upcoming releases. Yes. So one of the upcoming releases we have, I believe, is Ghostbusters.
Yep. One of the biggest things
Ghostbusters Unleashed. Yes, it's a asymmetric multiplayer game like Dead by Daylight. So basically, one person gets to be a ghost, and 4 people get to be Ghostbusters. And
yeah. This is actually the company behind the Friday the 13th game. So even though it was a little bit buggy, I played that game. It was fun. The Friday the 13th game was fun, especially being Jason and such. It was really good. And if it takes that type of style of gameplay, that style of fun, being you have to sit there, cause a trap, or just take down the Ghostbusters in real interesting ways. So yeah, it's very interesting. Hopefully they will. This will continue with that fun, because I really love that type of game. That type of gameplay and everything else. So this looks like it might be a sleeper hit. My personal thing. So I think it could be a very good sleeper hit, because Elphonic knows how to make that style of game, and they know how to do it very well.
Well, I guess we just gotta wait and see, and hopefully, it's always great to have more great games.
And game coming out, The Witcher, which, by the way, The Witcher, a new saga. A lot of people are just hyped for that, because even though CD Projekt Red kind of messed the bed with Cyberpunk 2077, but now they're gonna do another saga with The Witcher, because hey, the Netflix series making money, they love it. So I think this could be another hit for them, because hey, if the things are going bad, well, let's go back to the well again.
It's funny because I actually have the whole series on Steam and Xbox, and I still haven't played. Like, I have The Witcher 2 and The Witcher 3 on Xbox.
I have The Witcher 1, and I tried to play it, and I have all 3 on Steam. I tried to play Witcher 1, and I'm like, wow, this is terrible. I can't play the. I've tried playing Witcher 1. Witcher 2 and 3 are actually more fun.
I feel like if anything, they would have to make a remake of The Witcher 1. Like, you can kind of see its age and stuff like that. But The Witcher I think like they said, this is going to be more of a spin-off than a direct sequel, because I think they said they're done with what's his name, Gerald, Geralt, the main character. They're done with his storyline. So basically, this is like Uncharted: The Lost Legacies, when Uncharted 4 was about Nathan Drake and The Lost Legacies was about the two girls, Chloe and what's her name, Nadine. This is gonna be like sort of that situation. And like you said, dude, this is sort of the desperation move to like regain their reputation after Cyberpunk's 2077. So we just have to wait and see. It's most likely gonna be a single player and a whole new story and stuff like that. But I mean, if they put co-op in it, I mean, I'll try it out. I'm not just on co-op.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try one of these days. I'm gonna maybe try to live stream like Witcher 2 or 3 or something like that. But Lord, no. I just hope that maybe the one way if I were told CD Projekt Red this is like, okay, just maybe go and try to fix Cyberpunk 2077, but make an apology and such, and try to just remaster the first Witcher game and tech, and sell it at half price or something. Really get the fans back on your side. Try to get a little bit of get some good graces back. But that's just my thing.
Well, hopefully it's a good game.
Same here.
Right, for game recommendations, it's your turn, dude.
Well, this game right here. I was busy doing a live stream about this of the entire month of 2 months, I think February and March, and that is Immortals: Phoenix Rising. This game is, think Breath of the Wild, but with a lot more, but an Ubisoft flavor. It's the oh my goodness, you have to get all the things, but it's fun to do so. And Zeus and I think Prometheus have a bit of banner and such, so it's like it's kind of funny. Sometimes it can be a bit annoying, but overall it's a fun game. Platforms, it's fun on platforms, and voice acting is pretty pretty decent. And I have fun playing games, the combo stuff, really good. If you like Breath of the Wild, and it's and it's this game, if you see it on sale or see this game on see the game and everything else, I highly recommend it. This is a really good game. But be warned, there are some a little bit of that Ubisoft like microtransactions in this game. So, but it's only for cosmetics. But it's mostly a single player game. But overall, fun game. Great. It's a great time for you and for like the little kids around. If you have like some kids and everything else, they will. I think if they like their platforming and everything, they will definitely like this game.
Well, I actually have this game on my PS4, but I'll definitely give it a try out.
All right. And now, the video game highlight. Since Sonic 4 is not Sonic 4, but Sonic 2, the movie is coming out in a couple weeks. I picked the highlight of one of the best game of the Sonic franchise, well, made by fans and such, Sonic Mania. And honestly, to me, one of the best. Honestly, it's one of the coolest boss fights, and the music. Just overall, it's one of the best time to plays and everything else. You just see right here, just take it on, Eggman and everything else. It's probably one of the most fun and just take on and the clever ways they did it. Studiopolis, him taking all Robotnik and the different weather effects, and just like trying to make sure you're not attacked by lightning, first heat, then lightning, and just continue on. And I'm like, and I just really am just a little bit sad that the mostly Sega that Sega itself never really did this. It took a fan to do this. The majority of fan base game and everything else, and Sonic Team only wishes they can do something like this again, which is a shame because I do love this game and I love Sonic, but man, Just here's hoping the movie is going to be at least somewhat as just as fun as Sonic Mania.
Here's to that.
So that is the code, ladies and gentlemen. I
Indeed.
hope that you had some fun. Look at the stories and have fun. Also, tell about what you thought about it. Any new stories that you liked, disliked, or anything else. See something in the comments. Remember, like and subscribe.
And don't forget our game night, April 9th. Pause. April 9th at 7
p.m.
7 p.m. Yes, it is 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Western, California time. But definitely, we'll have it all over the site. We're definitely promoting it. The game is Rocket League. If you don't have it right now, you can download it right now. You can get some practice in. It's going to be a very good time. We want all the family there. We want all the people there. We want to meet everybody at the board. We'll have more details on it, but we're definitely promoting it, every single thing, until the actual day, because again, we can't wait for our family to be there. So definitely download Rocket League and definitely join Duke and I and Jay and everybody at the Dune for Rocket League.